God, do you even know what you're doing over there?
All right.
Some technician you are.
Intro.
What do you mean intro?
You gonna do the intro?
Why am I doing the intro? You do the intro.
You said you wanted to.
This
I
is
don't
getting
wanna
cut,
do the
right?
intro. No, this ain't getting cut. Why are you guys talking about cutting? This is in.
All right, cool.
Shut up, Forrest Beatrice.
You're not gonna do anything.
We all know I'm the tougher brother.
In your dreams.
I could take you down and just ground and pound the hell out of you.
Yeah, but we both know I'm so much stronger than you.
Maybe, but strength isn't everything.
You guys know the film thing they do where they go 5, 4, 3, and then they don't see the 2-1, but you go off of how long it is to assume when the 2-1 is to know when it's going to start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I thought we were actually doing all that. I thought we started.
We have started. I don't know why you keep talking about it. Like, this is it. We are talking. We're doing a podcast.
Hello, everyone. This is the Nomad podcast. I'm Jeremy. This is Cody, and we got someone else here with us today.
How's it going? I'm Nick.
Nick. Who's Nick?
I'm your brother.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know I had a brother.
All right, cool.
Who's Jeremy?
Some type of.
We're all three brothers.
Are we?
Yeah.
From the same mother?
From the same mother.
But not same father.
Not same father,
Oh,
no.
man. Are you guys twins? Because you both have red hair.
Yeah, we are twins. Me and Jeremy, we have the same dad, but,
No, I'm from Siberia.
you are the odd one out.
Oh, whoa. Interesting. So, welcome to the Nomad Show, episode 2. It feels like just yesterday we were doing episode 1. Time really flies by.
I wouldn't know I wasn't there.
Yeah, and I guess that's a great place to start. Where was Nick during episode 1? Why aren't you with us?
I think I was taking care of my child.
Oh, he's a dad.
I'm a dad to a 2-year-old boy.
How boring. I am too. I got 2 little girls, and they are just full with love and kindness. No, I'm just kidding. They're not.
Bachelor life.
My kid beats me.
Yeah, they're little devils, they are.
You deserve it.
But yeah, as I said, it's great to be back. Episode 2, loving every minute of it. We do have some things we want to fit in and talk about. And I think it's only fitting to properly just introduce Nick since he wasn't here in the first episode. So I do remember you called me about a month ago saying you wanted to do a podcast, and that's kind of how all this got formulated. So why don't you just talk about that? Like, why did you want to be starting a YouTube channel? Why do you want to do a podcast? And yeah.
So, probably about 8 to 10 years ago, I've been wanting to make some type of content on YouTube. Just because it was something I really enjoyed watching almost every day. And I made little gaming videos here and there. Just
Minecraft, right?
Minecraft, Surgeon Simulator.
You guys have to go
CSGO.
watch those old Minecraft videos these two have on their channel. Oh my god.
Please don't watch them. They're
It's
quite embarrassing.
Worst videos on YouTube, hands down.
All I do know is I got more views than Jeremy did.
Hands down, worst Minecraft video you'll ever see on YouTube.
I'm
It's
an epic
hilarious. I'm sorry, what?
I'm an epic gamer.
Yeah, okay.
But as I was saying, I really just want to make some type of content. With all the content creators, popping up out of the blue lately, past couple years or so, it really made me think, what is something I could make? And I really just want to get family involved. I want to get friends involved. So I was like, you know what? After seeing all the podcasts pop up, it'd be pretty interesting and pretty fun to start a podcast with you guys.
Are we that interesting? Let us know in the comments. I don't think we are.
Did you have no friends, so you came to us last second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He's got friends.
I was just with them.
I agree with everything you said. We're not here to be famous. We're not here to make millions of dollars. I think we're here as a hobby.
Maybe a couple mil.
And yeah, if we end up making a couple mil here on the side, that's just a bonus. But really, we're just a couple brothers living in Arizona, just talking about shit we like. So if that's something you guys are interested in, we appreciate you coming in, viewing us, and we look for your continued support. Now, we all know that I could take both of you on without even trying, me being the older brother. But there is one person I definitely can't take on. He happens to be in the UFC, and it's something I want to talk about. The kick heard around the world. In the UFC realm, we have the
Can I just say something real quick?
Interrupt me, okay?
No, I want to say something. If we both went, like if I went after you and you went after me, we both know I'd win in a fight.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
I would just take
The
you
only
down.
thing you're good at is
smash
grappling, but if you can't grapple, you're done.
Brother, I would smash you. Give me a location.
We can do it in your backyard.
Give me a location.
We'll get some gloves. We'll record it.
Oh, I'd love to put that up. It might be too graphic.
For our 100 subscriber special, we'll have a video of Cody and Nicholas fighting.
Yes, look forward to that. But as I was saying, in the UFC realm, we had the former champ Kamaru Usman, the welterweight champion, pound for pound king, got knocked out by Leon Edwards. And if you haven't seen this fight, you really missed a show. I know both of you missed it, and I feel bad for you guys for not really getting into UFC. But just to clarify what happened here, Kamaru Usman was very dominating champion. He is a really good wrestler, and he even got to the point where he was just knocking dudes out, like dudes that nobody really knocks out. And in this fight, it was looking like one of those again, just a dominating fight. It was scheduled for 5 rounds. It was in the 5th round where it ended. And what happened is, I mean, people were literally getting ready to leave the stadium, I bet. Like, it was 1 minute left, and then this head kick came from hell on Kamaru Usman from Edwards that ended up giving Edwards the winning fight and claimed the welterweight championship. It was a sight to behold, and no one saw it coming. Like, he was getting dominated. Like, it wasn't the best fight up until then, but it gave you one of those holy shit moments that everybody who was watching in the bar, restaurants, at home, in the stadium, everybody watching was just like, holy shit.
What would you say like the odds were on Edwards winning before the match?
Well, they actually had a fight before, so this was their second meeting. The first fight, Edwards obviously lost, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't that bad of a fight. But I'd say the odds were, I mean, if you were betting against Usman winning, like, you were crazy. It would have been an easy money grab to bet for Usman. I don't know the odds in particular, but yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people lost some money.
Well, what was a contributing factor of him losing that fight? Do you think he just gassed out, or what do you think?
It did seem both of them were pretty gassed, but I think Edwards just dug a little bit deeper. Usman was coming in very confident. He was winning all of his fights. He's only lost one time, and that was a long time ago. So he's a very confident person.
What's his record?
I think you might want to double check, but he's like 21-1, something like that, 22-1.
Really?
Yeah.
For which one?
We might have to confirm that. Usman. Oh, so he's 20-2. So going into the fight, he was 20-1. Very good record. Speaking from the UFC standards, that's really good record. And he was actually on track to beat Anderson Silva's record for title defenses and pass up GSP, which is one of the welterweight kings. So he was on track to do some major big things, and it just kind of got rail stopped right there.
Do you think this is going to be his downfall?
No, I don't.
Or do you think he's going to come back?
I think he's going to come back. It's already said they're going to get an immediate rematch because he was a dominating champion. And I think he's going to get angry, and I think he's going to realize he was maybe a little too cocky in that fight, or just wasn't, maybe he didn't train hard enough. But I think he's going to come back with a vengeance.
Can you go a little bit into the backstory of these two fighters? Like, what's the age difference for them?
Not much age difference, but backstory, you got a UK fighter in Edwards. He was born out of the trenches, they say. Not a very good background where he came from, very rough type of living. And he was basically a nobody, so he has that Rocky aspect to him, and his nickname is actually Rocky, so I thought, he has a good story. Usman from Nigeria, also same scenario, trenches area out there, so they both have the heart, dedication to be a champion. But yeah, man, it was just crazy fight. I've been watching UFC for a long time, and that's what defines the sport, is that anything could happen in a fight. These boxing matches, you don't really get those moments a lot. And yeah, it was great to see.
Would you say, like, how old are they? Like, are they older or, like, in the beginning of their career?
No, 30s.
30s?
Yeah, usually, most fighters are peaking around 27 to 33. I would say Usman's around that 33, 34 mark. Might want to double check that, but yeah, they're towards, middle of their career.
So how big of a thing would you say this is? Like, is this going to be remembered?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It might even break into knockout of the year. And maybe even further into the Hall of Fame for a knockout Hall of Famer, which they do that for some fights that are like crazy moments. And I think it has that potential.
Well, how do you think the next fight's going to go if they have another one?
I think Usman ragdolls him, to be honest.
You think?
I think he's going to come back with a vengeance, ragdoll him, maybe even look to knock him out. So the way Edwards knocked him out, it wasn't luck. Like, he was feigning the jab, feigning the straights, and inside that feint, Usman ducks. And Edwards was training that. There's video clips of him training this exact move in the gym with his coaches, and capitalized on it and kicked right as Usman was ducking. And that's what created that knockout. So it wasn't a lucky shot. It was designed, and he did what his coaches taught him in training camp to pull that off. And that's what's beautiful about it.
But do you think when Usman comes back to fight him, he's going to be so angry, he's going to win, he's going to want to win so bad, he might slip up again and just, lose the fight all over again. Just because he's angry, he's not focused as much.
I wouldn't.
So I've seen fighters do that before, where they're just so angry at their opponent, and they want to win so bad they end up losing again.
Well, up until this point, it's usually the opposite form. Like, all the other guys that are fighting Usman are all angry, coming at him with that hostile energy, and he just knocks him out. So I think he's aware of that. I think he'll be mentally ready. But I wouldn't use the word angry. I would say more focused and just ready to go. But he will get that title shot next, so it will be an immediate rematch. And I suggest, if you guys don't watch UFC, tune into that fight. It's going to be great.
I'll be watching that fight.
It's going to be good.
How did Edwards, call out anyone he was going to try and fight next after he won?
No, he was in tears, tears. He couldn't even talk. So there was no call out. I think he understands if he were to beat him that he would be having to fight him again. So no need to call anyone out.
So it's inevitable?
Inevitable, yeah. You get that with dominating champions. If they're a champion for a long time, they get a loss. It's usually a rematch right after that.
Which weight class are they?
welterweight, so they're fighting at 170. But yeah,
Now,
pretty good stuff.
The knockout was a kick. I don't watch a lot of UFC. Do knockout kicks happen a lot?
It's pretty common, but it's not common to happen in the last round, in the last minute of a championship fight. Usually, if you're in the 5th round, like there's a clear winner, and we thought there was a clear winner. And like I said, I heard that people were leaving the stadium already because it was looking like Usman had it, and then that kick just came from nowhere, and yeah,
I bet
that's
they were
UFC.
running back in there.
That's UFC.
I mean, UFC is such a dangerous sport, but honestly, anything can happen at any time in a fight. It doesn't matter who's more prepared, who's stronger. You know, you just move your arm the wrong direction, you're going to get hit, you're going to get knocked out.
Exactly. And another fight coming up is a guy, Nate Diaz, versus Hamzat Zemaev. I don't know how to say his name. But you got one guy who just ragdolls everybody. Really tall Sweden dude, can fight for days. He has no tiredness in his body. And then you have this guy, Nate Diaz, who's like this West Coast gangster, tall, skinny dude. Doesn't really ragdoll anybody, but he could just fight, man. He's a really good fighter, basically a boxer. That fight's coming up, and there's a lot of hostility about it because they think it shouldn't have been on the card. Like, it's total mismatch, and they just did it to make Nate Diaz like get his ass beat, basically. It's like a hit on him because not a lot of people in the UFC like him. But
Are you a fan of Nate Diaz?
I love the guy. One of my favorite fighters. And that's why I'm saying, this is where I'm coming from. Like, everyone's mad this fight's taking place. I'm excited. I think he has a chance because it's a fight. He's really good at boxing and jiu-jitsu. So if it goes to the ground, he could choke him out, which he's proven to do. I'm sure you watched the McGregor fight.
I did.
Nate Diaz. That's the guy I'm talking about. Nobody thought he was going to win against McGregor. And he was piecing him up, took him to the ground, choked him out, fight's over, and he became a mega star. But this is his last fight in the contract, and he's had some issues with the president of the UFC, so everyone thought that the president was making this fight to just basically like get his ass beat one last time before he leaves. I don't think that. I think it's going to be a good fight, and Nate does have a chance. There is a possibility. It's probably not probable, but he does have a great chance at it.
But think about it like this. Now that it's his last fight in his contract, he has something to prove.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Here's what I think that might happen. Like, let's say this dude, Nate Diaz, wins, right?
Yeah.
He's not even in the rankings right now. Like, he's very low ranked. But he's fighting the number 3 guy. If he wins, he's right there for the belt. And Conor hasn't fought in a while, but there's been talks of Nate Diaz against McGregor 3 because they've already fought twice. Nate won 1, and then McGregor won 2. So they've wanted that trilogy fight for a very long time. So let's say Nate Diaz wins this last fight. He's right up there for title contention, and then he goes against the title champion. And then faces McGregor for a 3rd fight, and that could be the way he goes out. But, of course, he has to win the next one first.
So this Nate Diaz fight is like going to be the next big thing?
Yeah, I believe it's September 10th, so that's going to be another good one as well.
All right, well, we have that to look forward to.
Yeah, I know you guys don't watch a lot of it, but it's like my life.
I know that Edwards' fight was a pretty big game, but he's not the only big game out there. Something else happened recently.
Oh.
With The Game and Eminem.
Oh, yeah. Nicholas, you want to touch on that?
So what's going on is The Game went on a podcast, I think The Breakfast Club as well. And he was wanting to battle 50 Cent. And 50 Cent didn't want to battle him. He didn't respond. He didn't want to do any of that. So, to prove that he was a better rapper, he wanted to go after Eminem. And his new album, Dramatic, that dropped about 2 weeks ago, he had a 10-minute diss track on Eminem. It's called The Black Slim Shady. And to me personally, it was very underwhelming considering he hyped it up since about March. And just the way the delivery of it was awful. Because when you're going at Eminem, he had all the topics he thought of. He could have made a very good diss track to where Eminem would have responded. Do I think he's going to respond? Probably not. But, he talked about Jimmy Iovine, Paul Rosenberger's manager, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Eminem, of course, his dead dad,
Ooh.
his mom, Kim, his ex-wife, and Haley, his daughter.
So he just attacked everything.
He went after everyone.
Kind of reminds me of the movie 8 Mile.
I know.
In that last scene where he just attacked everything on him to the point where he just had no response, and I think maybe that's what he was trying to do.
I just know he had the formula there. He could have made it very good, going at everyone in that. He could have had Eminem respond. But it was just a very lazy written diss track. And compared to what the game has released before, the album, the documentary, I'm pretty sure that was his debut album, the documentary. When he was on G Unit, when he released 100 bars, 300 bars, the game can rap. He's a really good rapper. But that whole album with the 30 track and then having all those features and a 10-minute diss track, it could have been great. The whole project could have been great.
All right. I'll stop that thought there and backtrack a little bit. So you mentioned a podcast. Can you tell us about this podcast? When was this and what happened on it?
Yeah.
I believe the podcast, I think it was like maybe 2 months ago.
And the game was on it, and was he being interviewed?
Yeah, he was being interviewed. I think it was about his new project that was coming up, but he was upset that 50 Cent, wouldn't battle him because, the game is saying he's a better rapper than 50 Cent. But to prove that, he has to go at the better rapper being Eminem. Yeah. And with that being said, he said on that interview he wanted to do verses with Eminem. And it's Eminem. He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
He has no reason to. He's proven everything. Of course, we all know Eminem is a better rapper over Game.
So you think this is just a plot to get at 50, maybe get a response from 50 and Eminem to maybe rise his stardom?
It's a whole ploy of trying to get record sales. And the first week came out of his sales and streams, it sold, I think, 35,000 in the first week.
Look up his sales.
I'm pretty sure it's 35,000 in the first week.
Look up his last 2 albums. Let's do a little compare and contrast here.
Because it's just, when you're going to go at Eminem, he's known for this. He's known for the underground battles. He's known, just don't go at him in general.
No, he's the king of rap battles.
And
knows that.
I wanted the game to make an amazing diss track against Eminem. I'm a big Eminem fan. I grew up with him. But hearing a good Eminem diss track makes me happy because I know there might be a response. It's going to raise a lot of controversy. And it's going to... Is that his first week sales right there?
Wait, this isn't listing his sales for Drillmatic yet.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was about 35,000 records sold.
And that's how long has the album been out?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, so it's still pretty early. So you'd say this album's getting a lot more
This album
status.
was a flop. They couldn't even... Okay, so it sold 25,000 copies.
According to this website.
So, and it's crazy because I think NBA YoungBoy had a verse on there that they had a poll because the album Dramatic didn't do the numbers it was predicted to do. So they had to pull his verse because the game couldn't afford it.
Damn. So maybe he's like dead broke out there, huh?
I mean, it seems like that, but
So this is like, hey, I gotta make some noise. I gotta get people listening to my music, and attacking the best rapper out there is the only way I think that would give me that money.
He thought it was going to go in the way that it did with MGK and Eminem.
That blew up, yeah. Everyone was talking about that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, when MGK released Rap Devil, it was one of the most streamed videos in a very long time. I don't know the exact number, but it did crazy numbers. And then, of course, MGK released an EP, and I think he even released an album right after that. But, of course, MGK didn't capitalize on that fame that he grew from dissing Eminem.
No, the album came first.
The album came first?
Eminem's
I thought
album,
it was the EP.
Kamikaze came out first.
No, I'm talking about MGK's EP that he released after Rap Devil, and then the album that he also released after that.
Oh, yeah.
But, Eminem responded to Machine Gun Kelly from Tech Nine's No Reason when Machine Gun Kelly dissed Eminem on there, but that's a whole other topic for another day. But the game just failed to capitalize on dissing Eminem. He was more paying homage to Eminem than actually dissing him.
Yeah, when I heard the song, I mean, he was using some of his melodies and the whole car ride. He was using that car ride that reminded me about the Stand song that Eminem did. Yeah. But is it fair to say you think MGK's diss is better than the game's diss?
It's a lot better.
A lot better. I would agree.
Because think about it like this. MGK, I used to be a fan of his back in the day, but not anymore really. It wasn't just because of the whole Eminem thing. I just really stopped listening to him just because it was all more or less the same. But the way MGK went about it versus the game and all the other rappers that's gone after Eminem in the past, like the Benzinos, Ja Rule, all those guys. It's just, the track is called The Black Some Shady, and I think he went through about 7 different albums, copying his cadence and all of his songs. When even in the diss track, he said he listened to one song out of 11 in his car. But he's mentioning songs off 7 or 8 different albums, I believe.
Yeah, he mentioned a lot of songs. I've even heard a lot of interviews. I've seen tweets of the game praising Eminem. Like, he was almost a fanboy. Not a fanboy, but he even said, like, one of my top 5 rappers, Eminem's on it. There was one interview he did where the game literally said, don't go after that guy. He'll
wasn't
out-rap anybody on this planet. It's out there for you guys to see yourselves. And hearing him now, I think he even admitted to saying it in that one podcast you were talking about where he's like, I used to think Eminem was better than me, but he's not.
And everyone in that whole room was just completely shocked and said,
like,
don't go after Eminem.
What are you saying? Like, I don't want this shit on here.
But, don't get me wrong. The game, he's a dope rapper. He's made a lot of good music out there, and he can battle. But it's just this wasn't a true beef in rap. This was more of just a ploy to get numbers.
That's the difference. MGK had a reason to diss Eminem.
Yeah, because MGK felt like he was getting blackballed because he was banned on Shady 45 and it wasn't going his way. The game did it more of just as a stunt to sell, and there was no true beef there because Eminem's never said anything about the game.
He's trying to create his own beef.
Yeah, he's basically just trying to start something to get record sales because Eminem said it himself. If you diss him, you're going to get millions of views. And then if he responds, you're going to blow up.
I believe it.
Well, now, do you think You think he knows this? Like, everyone's going to pick up on that? I would feel he would.
Who, the game?
Does he even care?
Eminem.
No, the game. Do you think he even cares that people are going to, like, say that shit about him? Like, oh, this is just a ploy for money?
No, because
he's gonna get the views.
He knows
whether,
it. He knows it himself.
He's going to get the views whether we give
Just
a shit or
having the
not.
Black Some Shady title of that diss track probably got that man, more views than it would have if it wasn't on there.
That is true. I bet you, if you look at all of his songs, like, that's the main hit right there.
And then, to me, it was just very lazy. There was no true rap beef there because in a lot of diss tracks, especially back in the day, when 50 Cent and Eminem, made that song called Hail Mary against, who was it against? Ja Rule. You could tell there's true beef there. You could tell between Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, there was true beef there. This felt more of like a Nick Cannon and Eminem beef to me.
Yeah, I listened to the game song, and I wasn't really that impressed. And it reminded me of Eminem's song Kill Shot. I think he had a lyric in it like, is that a death threat or a love letter? That's what that reminded me of.
And
It's a giant love letter. He loves
honestly,
Eminem.
it is. And it's funny because in the song, the Uber driver is, who is it, Matthew's little brother?
Yeah.
No, Stan's brother
Stan's brother?
in the song.
Dan's brother Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew. Matthew's the brother. He's the Uber driver in the song. And it's funny because,
He's like, oh, me and my brother used to be huge fans. And
well, here's the thing, though. It makes no sense because Stan's brother died in 2013 when the Marshall Mathers LP2 came out and the song Bad Guy, which was basically a Stan Part 2. And it just makes no sense because Matthew's already dead, but yet they brought him back in this song. And it makes no sense to me.
He didn't do his research.
No, he did not do his
Dude.
research.
But then again, he's claiming he hasn't listened to any of those songs, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the game said the only album he liked from Eminem was Recovery.
Maybe that's another diss in itself.
Now, does the game have a history of like calling out a bunch of rappers?
Yes.
Well-
Career?
Yes, he does.
So the game,
He is actually a very good diss artist.
he's, in my opinion, he's one of the best writers for making a diss track. He's very good at it.
So he does it a lot.
Not recently, just because he's not really been doing it as much as he would have back in, the early 2000s when he was a part of G Unit and Aftermath and, getting on with Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent. Because he was a part of G Unit and he had a falling out with them, and that's why he made the diss tracks 100 bars, 300 bars. He always had that chant was, I believe, G U not.
Yeah.
But he's proven he can rap. He can diss artists and have it be really good. But when you're going to go after Eminem, arguably one of the greatest rappers of all time in my opinion, you need to act like that's going to be your last song you're going to end up making. Because Eminem is going to come back so hard on you. But again, when you do that, and you're making a song like this, and it's this lazy, you're rhyming 4 bars with the same words over and over again, and you're basically just copying what you're doing before. And because the first verse in the song didn't even have any disses towards anyone. That didn't even need to be there.
Yeah.
And it's lazy writing, and it makes me angry because we can see what he's done in the past. And seeing this just really irritated me because it could have been great. It could have been a great beef between them. And it could have been fantastic for the culture. But it wasn't real. It was more of a publicity stunt to get views, to get money. And me personally, I don't think Eminem's going to respond because it's already been 2 weeks. And I think he'll probably just do the Nick Cannon thing where he might just throw in, a bar or two there about him in a future project.
Well, how long would it take to make a diss about him?
I mean, it just depends on how complex Eminem wants it to be. I mean, with the whole MGK beef, I believe it was about 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half.
For Killshot?
Yeah, I'd say like 10 days.
It was something around there, but Eminem's not just going to write something super quick and put it out. When he makes a diss track, because I've listened to almost all of them, and when he puts out a diss track, it's not going to be something lazy. It's not going to be something everyone's heard. It's going to make the artist really hurt, and it's going to bring that shock value that everyone's looking for that the game didn't deliver on.
That's right. Let us know in the comments what you think about this whole situation between the game and Eminem. Do you think the game's diss was good, or did you completely hate it? Do you think Eminem will respond, or do you think he just holsters his own clip and doesn't even attempt it? Because he talks about that a lot, that he will not give someone fame that they're intended on. But anyway,
So we were a little disappointed in the game, but there's another game we were disappointed in. Nazi Republic.
yes, as we reported on last week,
So it got delayed, we know that, but there's new news.
let's hear it.
So it's not official, but according to insider sources, Nazi Republic is going to get moved to getting fully developed under Saber Interactive.
Do you think that's a good move?
Well, I definitely don't think it should be staying with Asper.
Yeah, so Aspire and Saber Interactive are both owned by Embracer Group, the subject we talked about last week. So basically, they now switched developers to Saber Interactive because they did not like what Aspire has done. And from what we are reading, they're still aiming for that 2024 range. They don't think it's going to be held back too long now that they've made the switch. So we're still hoping to hear more confirmation on this story, but yeah, I'll just be happy that they are taking into consideration that they want this to be a good game and they're willing to do the big moves like this to make sure it gets done.
To be honest, at this point, I don't want it to come out. I want it to have some delay, because if they have to scrap it and redo it, that means they're probably going to want to crunch and get it out. And I don't want the Kotor remake to just be another crap thing made and sold and no one plays.
Exactly.
What video game came out that had a bunch of bugs in it that almost no one played?
Well,
It came out.
let me get
I know
out my
you have
long
it.
list.
Well, we have a long list of that. I mean, if we get into that area, we could be here all day.
Let me throw a dart.
Madden, Cyberpunk.
I think it was Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's the one you're referring to.
I played that for like 15 minutes and almost wanted to throw a controller at the TV.
Cyberpunk made history with how buggy it was.
Yeah. And it's sad because I was one of the few that enjoyed that game, even when it was having its issues. I don't know if I'm just so used to bugs being in a final release game, but I'm big on story, so I enjoyed Cyberpunk, but I know there was a lot of people that were disappointed.
You know what game I've been really wanting to see a trailer on lately?
Let's hear it.
The next Grand Theft Auto.
We actually got a lot of news concerning that. They have now switched to full development on Grand Theft Auto. Not saying they haven't been working on it, but they're basically taking their teams that are working on GTA 5 Online, Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. They're saying, hey, we need our full focus on GTA 6 now. So
Because next year will be 10 years since GTA 5's been out?
yeah.
I thought they'd go every 4 years from what I've seen.
Well, GTA 5's still making them money. So everyone, get off GTA 5.
Get off GTA 5 because
Stop spending money. It's
Stop with the
affecting all
shark
of us.
cards.
Yes, those shark cards need to.
Because I bought them twice and thought it was a waste of money.
I'm not gonna lie, I've spent some money on there too, but
Did you?
yeah,
Oh,
a lot,
well.
a lot.
I got all my money from when the money glitches were out back in like 2013, 14, 15.
That was like the Wild West back then.
Yeah, everyone had millions of dollars. It was
But-
great.
Anyway,
Speaking of Kotor, which is owned by Sony, Sony is having some trouble itself.
yes. So Sony is basically getting sued right now by some people in the UK district for $6 billion.
Jesus Christ, what are they getting sued for?
It's not a lot of details on it, but there's a group of people in the UK, gamers really, just regular people that feel like they're being wronged by Sony in the PlayStation Store department, and that they're paying more on average for a brand new game than most people around the world, including us in the US. So typically what you see right now as a game brand new for us is around $70 now with the new gen. And they're paying £70, which is equivalent to about $80 US. And they feel wronged by it. They're not fans of the microtransactions that we're currently seeing a lot in game.
Oh, yeah.
They feel like it's empowering young kids to just waste their money on certain aspects that aren't really worth it in the game.
Those microtransactions they're so stupid to me. Like, I get, you can buy stuff, you can have cool things, whatever, but I really don't play video games all that much anymore. I still do, every other day. But I miss the times where, you'd buy a game and you'd have everything in it.
Yeah. I
Like-
feel microtransactions doesn't bother me until it starts affecting your game. A big example of this is Madden. They have doubled down for years and years and years on microtransaction to where they don't even need to mess with their game anymore and improve their game because it's just they don't care.
Like, you
They're
can
still
spend-
going to make billions of dollars and they don't need to improve anything.
Like, Madden, you could spend like $100 and have the best team out there, and probably more, but you can spend a couple $100, get a really good team, and start beating people. And what's the point of that? You're not working towards anything. And let's say any other game, you can sit there, you can buy a very good gun, start killing people with it. And it's so stupid to me. I remember like back in the day when, the old Call of Duties that came out, the old Halos, all those type of games. You'd buy the game, and basically that was it. You had to work for everything that you needed. You had to actually you put time into the game to get certain things. And that's kind of where I fell off playing a bunch of video games was, I'd hop into a game, 3 days later, you have people that are basically you're not going to beat unless you put more money into the game.
Yeah, it's when it starts going deep like that, it's just horrible. It really pisses me off, actually.
So, boomer talk aside, to round out the lawsuit thing, the person behind it was saying how Sony is charging 30%. They're getting 30% of everything in the store from the developers, and developers have to increase the cost of things in order to make money, and that's screwing the regular people. With in this day and age, everything's getting more expensive, and these people have finally had enough of it.
I like it. I would like to see them win that, just as power to the players type of thing. And I would like to see microtransactions disappear. They don't have to go away completely, but if it starts affecting your game,
I think
it needs to go.
if it makes you more like powerful or anything like that, if it just makes you better than someone, then I don't see a point. That needs to go away.
Yeah. Cosmetics is fine.
Yeah, like let's say, you know, like a skin or anything like that.
Do it all you want.
Yeah, I'm a little biased against big business, but I feel like ever since battle passes became a thing, things have gone downhill.
I would agree. But, you know, if it makes money, it makes sense, and that's what these big developers believe wholeheartedly. And I don't think it will ever go away. And it's just...
Well,
It's
remember
here to
when
stay.
Black Ops 2 came out? They had I forgot what it was called, but they would have, you know, the game passes or whatever that would come out.
DLC?
The DLCs that would come out
yeah.
every couple months, and they would have guns on there that were better than just the stock guns that you'd have to level up and earn. But it wasn't like crazy OP, like to where, oh, if I bought this for $20, I'm gonna kill everyone. It was maybe like the Peacekeeper. That was, I believe, one of the guns that were in some of the DLCs or something like that.
Sounds familiar.
But that gun wasn't super OP. It wasn't gonna kill everyone. You weren't gonna die. It may have shot a little faster, but now when you buy a DLC in any other game or anything like that, you're just going to be crazy OP and just makes the game not fun anymore.
Well, we could probably have a whole podcast just about what's wrong with the AAA games today.
Yeah, that'll probably be a whole other video. We could go on for days about that. But we have ran out of time here, guys. So I appreciate you tuning in to another episode 2 of the Nomad Show. Thank you, guys. We hope to get your continued support. Go ahead, drop some comments, and you know we're not going to tell you to like and subscribe, but if you want to, you know what to do. Thank you, guys. Peace.
Peace. Bye.
He's